It was just a few short sentences, but to millions of fans around the globe, it felt like the earth shifted. When Jimin and Jungkook spoke candidly about their thoughts post-military service, ARMY felt their hearts leap in unison. Jimin's words, simple yet loaded with meaning, gave fans a long-awaited glimpse into the group's plans. This year, my talks with Jungkook have changed a lot. We've been discussing preparations to meet you all again and our commitment to giving our very best performance. It wasn't just an update, it was a declaration. Jungkook, always humble and shy when talking about himself, added his own reflection. It's been a long time since I stood in front of a camera. I feel shy but also really happy. His words, tinged with vulnerability, resonated deeply. For ARMY, who had been replaying old concert clips, rewatching fan cams, and holding on to every memory while waiting, this moment felt like the first sunrise after a long, cold night. For years, the narrative surrounding BTS's military enlistment was filled with uncertainty. When would they return? Would they return at all? Now, with these words, the fog seemed to lift. This wasn't speculation from media or whispers from insiders. It was Jimin and Jungkook themselves opening the door to hope. Mandatory military service in South Korea is not just a duty, it's a transformation. For idols who have lived their adult lives in the spotlight, the transition into anonymity and discipline is profound. BTS entered this phase as global superstars, but inside the barracks, they became soldiers like everyone else. For fans, those years were filled with longing. ARMYs described it as an era of silence, where the absence of BTS was deafening. Concert venues that once shook with chants of BTS felt like ghostly memories. Even though the members released pre-recorded content, the knowledge that they were away created a void impossible to fill. Yet this time away was also necessary. The military service forced BTS to step back from the constant whirlwind of fame. For Jimin and Jungkook, it became a period of reflection. Away from the stage lights and roaring crowds, they had space to think about who they were, who they had become, and who they wanted to be when they returned. And now, as their words reveal, they've used that time wisely, not as an ending, but as preparation for a stronger beginning. BTS has always been more than music to their fans. They are brothers, confidants, and guiding lights to millions around the world. When Jimin admitted that his conversations with Jungkook were now focused on reuniting with fans, it reinforced the truth that BTS never forgets the people who lift them up. Every lyric, every speech, every live stream has always been about the connection with ARMY. That bond is what makes their promise so powerful. Jimin wasn't just talking about rehearsing songs or practicing choreography. He was talking about a commitment, a vow, to stand before their fans again as a group that has endured trials and come out stronger. For Jungkook, the admission of shyness was just as meaningful. To fans, it showed his humility, his vulnerability, and his sincerity. Despite being one of the most famous performers in the world, Jungkook still felt the weight of stepping back into the spotlight after so long. That honesty only deepened ARMY's love. While Jimin and Jungkook shared their promises, the rest of BTS is also steadily approaching the end of their military commitments. RM, the group's leader, and V, the soulful baritone beloved for his artistry and charm, are still serving but will soon complete their duties. The anticipation surrounding their return is immense. With Jin, J-Hope, Suga, and now Jimin and Jungkook discharged, the final pieces of the puzzle are falling into place. Fans believe that the timing of Jimin and Jungkook's comments was no accident. It feels like a carefully placed hint, a whisper of reassurance, that the long wait for OT7, all 7 members together again, is nearing its end. When RM and V finally return, it will be the moment ARMY has waited for since 2022, BTS free from enlistment, ready to take the stage once more. Military service is often described as a crucible, a place where character is tested and bonds are deepened. BTS members, who have always described themselves as family, are emerging from this chapter with a bond that seems even more unshakable. Jimin and Jungkook's promise to share their military stories with fans is not just about entertaining anecdotes. It's about letting ARMY in on the struggles, the lessons, and the moments of growth they experienced. From long nights of training to unexpected friendships within the ranks, these stories will likely inspire fans and remind them that even global icons face human challenges. By vowing to share these experiences, BTS is once again blurring the line between idol and fan. They are not untouchable stars. They are people who walk through hardship, learn, and then return to share those lessons with the people who believe in them the most. The ripple effect of Jimin and Jungkook's comments was immediate. Within hours, hashtags like #BTSComeback, #OT7Reunion, and #WelcomeBackBTS trended across Twitter, X, Weverse, and TikTok. Fans in every corner of the globe shared their tears, their laughter, and their renewed hope. For many, this promise was the signal they had been waiting for. Fan bases in South America began organizing streaming events. European fans started planning travel budgets for possible tours, and North American armies filled timelines with emotional posts about how much they missed the group. It wasn't just a statement. It was a spark that reignited a global movement. The question that has gripped ARMY since Jimin and Jungkook's words is simple. When speculation is running wild. Some fans believe the group may aim for a symbolic comeback date, perhaps on the anniversary of their debut, June 13th, or during December to close the year with a powerful reunion gift to fans. Others suggest the timing might align with global music festivals in late 2025 or early 2026, where BTS's presence could redefine the scale of live performance. The most popular theory is that BTS is quietly preparing for a monumental 2026 tour. With RM and V finishing military service soon, the calendar for BTS looks clearer than it has in years. Insiders close to HYB have remained tight-lipped, but the industry is bracing for a storm. If Jimin and Jungkook's comments are any indication, the reunion isn't a matter of if, but when. Interestingly, HYB has said nothing official about BTS's comeback plans. The label's silence has only fueled the speculation. For ARMY, this isn't unusual. HYB has always been careful about announcements, preferring to build suspense and let the members' words create momentum. Still, silence speaks volumes. Fans believe Jimin and Jungkook would not have spoken so directly about meeting ARMY again unless something significant was already in the works. HYB may be waiting for the perfect timing, ensuring that the announcement doesn't just make headlines but dominates global news cycles. Some even suggest that HYB could be planning a surprise reveal, perhaps through a cryptic teaser, a hidden clue in Weverse posts, or even a sudden drop of new content that confirms what ARMY already suspects. BTS is preparing to take over the world again. In the absence of official news, ARMY has become its own newsroom. Social media platforms are filled with fan-made theories, analyses, and detective work. Some fans study Jungkook's body language in his comments, while others look at Jimin's tone as though it were a coded message. One popular theory suggests that Jimin and Jungkook's words were more than just casual comments. They were carefully chosen signals to fans, a way of preparing them for the flood of news to come. Another theory links their remarks to HYB's financial strategies, hinting that the company may align BTS's comeback with major business moves, such as new partnerships or platform launches. Whether or not these theories are accurate, they play a vital role in sustaining excitement. For ARMY, decoding clues is part of the fun. Every post, every live stream, every small comment feels like a piece of a puzzle that only the most devoted fans can put together. The global music industry has never faced a moment quite like this. BTS stepping away from military service was unprecedented, but their return could be even more historic.